I'm going to call to order the City of Sandy Oaks Park Advisory Committee for January 7th, 2019. It is 6:30, and notice is hereby given that a meeting of the Sandy Oaks Park Advisory Committee will be held on Tuesday, January 7th at 2020 at 6:30 p.m. at Sandy Oaks City Hall, located at 4451 Hickory Haven, Sandy Oaks, Texas 78112, for the purpose of considering the following agenda items. All agenda items are subject to action. I call it to order. We have a quorum. Please stand for the pledge
Would you
of
like to call the names?
John
Oh,
Franklin.
yeah, just
Here.
for, I'll call the names. Charles,
Here.
John,
Here.
Will,
Here.
Tom.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
You might want to make a nomination.
Yeah, I'd like to make a notation that Ann Garza has showed up for the meeting. She was just
Hello, Ann.
a little bit tardy.
A minute.
We'll give her lashes later.
Okay. Happy.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is citizens to be heard, and we have one person signed up.
Hello, how are you? Just down. Hello.
Hello.
Karen Tanguma here, and I'm really excited. I always have been excited about the park, and having things happen here. You know, city plan requires people to be involved, so that's part of the goal for everyone. Holiday events held in Pavilion. I'm glad to hear about that. I was hoping you'd maybe consider maybe having a Christmas tree there, and maybe some lights in the park. And I do have somebody that does nonprofit fundraising. Also have some products too. Maybe we can do some of those lights, pay for some of those things. I noticed that people like to take pictures, whole families, and under trees and Santa and everything. Regular market events, I was hoping you might consider adding possibly like arts and crafts. I make jewelry and pottery, and I know other people make other things. Not just like a yard sale type thing, but they actually have products, and maybe the city can get some of those reimbursements. I know when I sell my products on consignment, they get like 10% or something, so you might think about that. And I know we've been talking about the Monarch forever, so I'm real excited about that. I'd like to offer my services to the park committee. I do have a lot of ideas about social engagement. I know creating a beautiful park is part of it, but also getting these people socially engaged, and maybe having an activity once a week on a weekend to just make it consistent in their heads. Oh, there's something always going on in the park. We should go check it out. I use the park a lot, as you know, with my 5-year-old. I come here several times a week, you know, and the thing's good, so I'm excited about the painting of everything. So just give you some ideas on that. I was looking forward to Easter as well. You know, I just got ideas that I'd like to share. And I am with the Alamo Promise, Alamo Colleges, so for the next 2 years I'll be involved in giving quality education with free tuition. So this is kind of a way of still engaging with the community. So I'm really involved at work right now. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Tanguma. We'll take it under
Oh, and the
consideration.
process. Oh, yeah, volunteer. And if there's a process, let me know.
Cool.
I'll talk to you after the meeting. Okay, let's move on to agenda item 4, discuss and possible action on the process to create the position of activities director and nominating and appointing a volunteer in that position. Well, we've said since the beginning of the Parks Committee, that's one thing that we really need to have so that we can generate some things in the park. And I understand we have somebody that's interested in doing that.
Yes, we
So,
do.
could you elaborate on what you'd like to do?
Well, first introduce her.
Oh, okay.
And I do not know how to say your last name.
Sarmiento.
Okay.
Mrs.
Still don't know.
Sarmiento?
Hi.
I like
Hi.
Gloria.
Yeah.
Gloria. Hi. My
Diego.
son, Diego.
Hi, Diego.
We volunteered for the Santa Run, so much fun. And I would love to volunteer and get the community involved. We were fairly new, we just moved here. And just when we saw just how quick everything became during Christmas and everybody, got everything together, that was very inspiring. So whatever I could help and do, I would love to do it. Get the community involved. I had planning to put on that neighborhood app to kind of make its own little page just for the activities and things like that, and everybody could have an idea and kind of pitch in. And really do get the neighbors and everybody living here involved and to hear what they have to say and what they want to do.
So one thing that we were talking about was creating an agency account for the parks specific that she could use for that purpose, for getting messages out to people. I may need your help on how to set that up. I can't remember how to do it.
Do it on GoDaddy? or-
No.
On
Nextdoor.
On
Next
Nextdoor,
door.
yes.
On Nextdoor.
okay.
The neighborhood.
And then I think there is a page already, a Facebook page for the park. So we can make sure that you're added to that as well.
Yeah, through the neighborhood app, through the Nextdoor, there's a feature where you could take polls and
Yes.
ask people questions in there. It's just have people chime in and feel involved and what they have to say matters and what their ideas are. First thing I thought we could do was kind of fix up the park and get it going, and I had suggested that, it sounds bad, but free labor. The high school kids need volunteer hours in order to graduate. And it's sophomore, so they need 85 hours, and then as a junior, they need 120 hours, and as a senior, they need 230 hours in order to graduate. So most of the kids that go to the south side live around here, so I figured we could get them to come and help clean up and volunteer to do that. And it helps them and it helps us. We could save some money like that.
Well, one of the things we talked about the Monarch Butterfly Project, so they could help with that.
Yeah.
I was mentioning to her about the baseball diamond, that we have it, but there's work that needs to be done
Yeah,
there.
there's work that needs to be done.
There's always stuff that needs to be done.
And if
So,
it could be free.
but,
And she's also associated with the Booster Club, so
Yes.
she has access to
He plays
the talent.
football.
right. And
So
what
that's
we'd
why-
have to do is come up with projects and then assign.
I'm sure there's plenty of stuff to do.
Yeah.
We just need to get together and
Yeah, there is.
there is. And especially with the park. And I mean, these kids, we didn't even know that there was a park here.
Yeah.
And when we started hearing about it during the Christmas break, it was exciting. And we drove out here and we saw, and there's a lot of potential, a lot of it. It's just so big that it does get a little, your focus gets put somewhere else, or funds or whatever. So if we can have kids kind of grow to love it, then they're gonna be like, well, let me go just clean up, or they see something and
Well, that's why we need somebody to focus the
Right.
So you're affiliated with
Energy.
the high school?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
the
Yeah.
Booster Club.
Oh, okay.
Just-
Yeah, because I have a master chess instructor that does the trio from Southside and Somerset stuff. He's been wanting to do chess master
Classes or
training. Yeah, because there's scholarships involved with.
That's great. Anything that
But
involves.
we haven't had the park up and running, and he says I have to have the bathrooms. He's got to have those open in order for them to come and do it. So he's just waiting for us to actually give him the word.
That would be great. I
Yeah.
also wanted to do, like you mentioned,
Like I
craft
said,
stuff.
yeah.
I'm a baker, personally myself.
Like I said, there's a lot of products
Yeah,
out there.
we could do and get together and get everybody's ideas together and just get it going, whatever works for the city.
So,
And then,
are
well,
we-
the other thing is we're looking at, hopefully this time next year, this building being a community center. So we would have even more opportunities for, and what we would be looking for an activities director is like coordinating, scheduling for the pavilion or different events, and especially when this building becomes the community center, you know, do some kind of scheduling here. Maybe some regular events. I know that we talked a little bit about walking groups.
Right,
Yeah.
like little hiking groups.
And I know that some of the parents, of, especially of the younger kids, are looking for, you know, activities, group
the
play
Mommy
dates.
Days out, I already looked into
The
that.
summer's
Yeah.
coming up, so
Yeah.
the
And
sooner
then-
the better.
And then Rue also has an interest in, between her and John, I've kind of tagged them for a while to do some flora and fauna type education opportunities down here. You know, what are the natural plants and animals?
Oh, that's
and-
great.
Yeah. So something for the kids.
There's a lot of different plants out here,
There
yeah.
are.
That'd be great. I mean,
That's
I
what I
am
was thinking
willing and
exactly.
able to help and be directed,
Okay.
so
so what would be the proper format to actually bring her on board? Do we need council approval?
No, we
Probably
do not, we
yeah.
do not
Yeah.
need council
Do we
approval
need
on
to
that.
nominate her or something? Or just,
Yeah,
I would
probably.
say somebody would make a nomination and council can act on that.
I would like to nominate Gloria Sarmiento.
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 They can't say my last
I
name
can
either.
only
Don't
say it
don't
in
feel bad.
English. I can only say, you're Carvajal, that's easy. For the activities director, as a volunteer, for our park.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay. So.
And so, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries with a,
Welcome.
thank you. I'm excited.
See how easy that was?
I'm excited. This is gonna be exciting.
so now we need for you to, I think,
To work.
Get
up-
to work.
Yeah,
I think you need to put down the focus that you want to, so that we can then, because it's going to have to come here anyhow when we develop projects to get approval.
I know I have to run things by you first, so I do want to get that up and started on the next door and maybe just create that Facebook page.
So let me get with Charles on
Right.
getting your agency account set up, and then I'll work with, ooh, I don't remember who has it. Somebody's got the city park account. We'll get you added on that as well. And then as far as activities themselves that don't cost anything, there's really nothing that needs to go before council. It's just a matter of the committee here approving those type of activities, but if there's some project that would require some level of funding, then that would come to here first, and then the council would have to
My
approve it.
ideas mainly are right now to get it known that there is a park out
Okay.
here and that it's really cool. Like that whole covered thing where the pool used to be. I already thought like we could do, I saw that there's a lady that posts signs of Zumba classes. I was thinking maybe reaching out to her if she would like to do a couple of classes, just like, I'll bake her a cake if she wants one, it doesn't matter.
I think she had
Count?
mentioned she was
Something
interested in
like
doing that,
And
but
Rika, or is it,
yeah.
there's two of them.
No, it was
Barbara
Rika,
has
and but
two.
she was waiting for the weather summer. It just
And I
wasn't
think
gonna
it's
work
great
out.
too, because I don't know anybody, so that just gets me going and reaching out and getting to know people. And I have a giant speaker, so there's really, I just don't know if it's a liability. I don't know how that
Okay.
works.
Okay, no
So-
worries. We'll make sure, if you have any questions, Tom would be your first
Okay,
point of
great.
contact,
Okay,
and then he knows where to go if he needs something else, so.
right, okay.
Okay,
Make
well,
sure that y'all have each other's contact.
yeah, I will give her my contact information. Nice to
But
have
right-
you on
for right
board,
now,
Gloria.
Those were my ideas to get stuff going, just to make it known that it's here. And then doing like a poll on the Nextdoor app or on the Facebook, like what is everybody's interest, or a hike, and if people have knowledge of plants or birds or whatever there is.
John knows a lot about snakes.
So does Rue. And Rue does too.
Rue.
We're the snake people.
where'd you learn all that, Rue?
Just interest.
You're smart. Really smart.
Just
You know a
fear
lot
turning
about
into
that stuff.
fascination.
Yeah.
And then I can.
From where, Ruth?
I was just
Keep
scared and
practicing.
then just always taught to be scared and then
Started
started learning a
learning.
little about them and then you like
Really?
Okay.
became
I spent-
obsessed.
I spent many
So
a day
was
in the
John.
library learning all that stuff.
Okay, thank you, Gloria. We'll move on to agenda item number 5, discuss and possible action on hospital events held in the pavilion, not holiday events. I need to get my glasses cleaned or something. Having difficulty
You just worked
today.
in a hospital too long.
Yeah, that's probably it, yeah. I think that everything I've heard, all the events that we held on the holidays went well. And I think we ought to expand on them in the future. Is there any comment on that? I just put it in there to see if there was any issues that came
Well,
up.
we have, the next event that's coming up would be Easter. So we might want to plan on, I don't know if you want to do like an Easter egg hunt. It's a little challenging out here because of the stickers. But we could make sure that the Public Works crew has, an
Cleaned it
area
out,
cleared
yeah.
and mowed down real good, if we wanted to plan for an Easter event. I even think we have an Easter bunny costume.
Yeah, you do.
It's not
Can we
creepy,
talk
is it?
across, or is that not allowable? Because I was thinking about Easter as well.
Well,
Can I talk?
we can talk about it afterwards, I mean, so.
I was, okay.
I'll get with
I
Gloria.
just don't see any place to put eggs, that's all.
Yeah, well, when that comes up, we'll work on it. Then there's
I think
Halloween
you
and
could
then
get
there's
some
Thanksgiving,
involvement
and
if you
so
had
there are a lot
money,
of
the
Yeah.
plastic shell
opportunities
eggs
to do something.
and
And
have,
4th
I
of
thought there'd be
July is
people
coming
in
up.
July,
Yeah, 4th of July,
Oh,
which
yeah.
would
to
be
get some interest with the
Um,
$10 bills and a few of
a
them.
challenge, because
As teenagers, right?
it just
Yeah.
Because they
depends.
really.
But, I mean, a picnic
Like
type
candy.
deal and maybe a
Well,
laser
for
show.
Easter
I mean, there's
eggs.
other options that we
Yeah,
can
we can
do.
do
The
all kinds of
subdivision
things.
where I
I
used
mean,
to
it's
live
just-
was in Von Army and we had stickers out there too. And when they would have Easter egg hunts, they would put tarps down and then just randomly place the eggs and then release the kids according to age
Exactly.
out.
Right.
But there was just like the whole park was just a giant
And I
blue
wanted
tarps.
to-
Wow.
Yeah, because we had stickers too. Yeah, we had stickers.
There's an event
Was it a Sandy's here?
at the college.
In Von
No,
Army,
it was
yeah.
a little bit more.
Clay
The
line?
fruit bar cart,
Yeah.
where, the ice cream
It's
cart.
out in
where
Von Army.
We roll it around for trio.
July,
and
Halloween.
the kids just love that.
So I got Easter,
Miss
4th of July,
Tanguma.
Halloween.
And anything that's
Do we want
Miss
to-
Tanguma.
Probably not.
No, not
There's too
thank
many
you.
Karen.
Too much
people.
going
Didn't you have a Christmas
The Easter
event in
Bunny
the park?
Isn't
Yeah, that was
creepy,
really
is it?
nice.
Did it work
Costume.
for you?
It's on the community page.
Oh, I'll have to look for it
I
then.
mean, because they got to take
Depends.
pictures.
I'm a fear.
The Santa image, whole families. That was the
And I
difference
was
because
teaching
on the parade,
steroids.
which is, the parade is
I
super great.
dressed,
but
I
they
used
don't
to
get to
dress up in
actually
a rabbit suit.
do
Right,
the Santa
right,
thing. They
right.
put the
That
mail,
I was
the
gonna
letter in
bring
the
out
box.
the rabbit
Uh-huh.
that we
Here they
had on
give it to where they
steroids.
tell them, and then the whole family's got together for pictures. That's why I was thinking about a Christmas tree under there, because they like
Point of
taking
order.
pictures.
Yeah,
Hispanic
point of
people
order,
forgot about
okay,
Right.
let's not monopolize it.
it.
No, I had to ask her
Oh.
And it
a
went well.
question.
Oh,
There was
you
a lot
had?
of picture
Okay.
taking. Yeah, a lot of picture taking. So that was a good place to do something like that. Oh, it needs decorations too.
Mhm.
Okay, well, there are a lot of opportunities for holiday actions that we can have in the park.
Yeah,
and
we'll get some ideas
Yeah.
from Gloria.
and we'll act on them as appropriate. Agenda item 6, discuss and possible action on market days as a regular event. I thought it went pretty well. I came down here. There wasn't a lot of participation, but I think that if we're going to do it on a regular basis, we need to probably set up
Is it
some
big?
rules.
Crafts.
Crafts of market
So-
days.
So that
Yeah.
you
Well,
had
okay, that
crafts that
includes
were
that.
here.
That, yes.
There were some
So
crafts
there was,
and
Okay.
there was a challenge with it because of its timing related to Christmas. That was one.
yeah.
Notifications, letting people know was number 2. That's something your crew could do with signs.
I'm new, so I don't know what market day.
So what we did was some December 14th, I
Yeah.
think
I
it
believe it was, yes.
We just did a free-for-all in the pavilion. We have tables and chairs, so we offered what tables we had.
Okay.
And people were free to come down, there's no fee.
Selling their-
Selling,
theirs.
if they did crafts, or they wanted to do like a rummage sale,
Oh,
or they
okay.
have
I heard about the rummage sale.
That's what it was.
So do they have
But
to
it
pay
could
for
be
the
like
table?
fruits and vegetables, but, so, one of the things, you have to be real careful with the food items.
Okay.
Because according to Bear County Public Health, you can sell home-baked stuff, you can do, that's not a problem. But if you're talking fruits and vegetables, you can sell them, they have to be whole. You cannot, once you cut
Cut
it,
'em.
it changes the game.
Right.
So there's a lot of, that time of year, there was a lot of citrus that may have been available if people wanted to come down and sell it, or there was a lady that was selling
Still
eggs.
have citrus.
So, that's kind of the whole market days approach.
So I was thinking, do we need to set up a specific date every month that we advertise?
Do you want to do it every month?
Quarterly.
The fifth-
Every
the third-
quarterly?
Every quarter, every
I think
month?
that would be
Like,
good.
what is it that, the Southtown does it one first
Quarterly
Friday every
is good
month,
to
or,
start.
you know what I mean?
Oh,
Not too
yeah.
often, but enough to get a routine down where they know.
Nope.
Right.
It would be Saturdays. Everybody's.
No, and that's the rub.
That's the rub, yes. So January may or may not be a good time, but you know what might be good is right before Valentine's Day, because I do know that there's people who sell Valentine baskets and stuff like that.
Right.
So that may be
Arrangements
one.
and things like
But
that.
it'd have to be the first week. And
The first
Sell
weekend.
cakes. Oh,
Certain times of the year,
It's-
people
yes,
vend on
you
the
could
side
even
of
do
the
your
road
baked
for
goods.
certain holiday occasions.
As long as
It's
it's
a
not-
good idea
because
to
the
try to
cottage-
bring them in here to
The
do
cottage,
that.
and the home cottage thing allows for baked
Well, I have
goods.
my food handling license
Okay.
and all of that stuff. So,
But like prepped foods, you know,
Um,
temperature control, we
I
couldn't have any of
know-
that.
I don't know how strict it is, like, since it's a community thing. And again, it's, you buy at your own risk, like everything else. But I know for a fact, like if, I think they just have to write down, like on a little label, what the ingredients are. And that's it. You're safe to sell it.
Especially peanuts.
Yes, exactly, because of allergies and mostly like
Yeah,
that.
well, it looks like February 8th would be the opportune
That would,
day.
that's what I was just looking at. That's a
Yeah.
week before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Is that Saturday?
So
Yes.
February 8th. I mean, we could do it every other month as opposed to once a quarter.
Don't forget.
I
February,
figure we
March.
do it maybe every quarter and then see what the popularity is, and if we need to
Do it more often.
condense it, we can do it more often.
Okay. So we have a reservation form on the website for use of the pavilion, so we would just need to block out
for
those
February.
dates. Yeah, so February from 9 to 3, February 8th from 9 to 3. Okay, I should be able to do that right now. Do you have, I mean, we don't have to set another date right now unless you have one in
No,
mind.
if you want to keep it on a quarterly basis, then we could do like the 14th of March. The
It
Ides
shouldn't
of
be the
March.
same. It shouldn't be the same weekend each month.
Well, it could be
I
the
mean,
first
I'm just-
weekend. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We can do
It's
the
just a
second.
Oh, wait a minute, wait, we
Fireworks
have,
in the park.
hold
You
on.
think that's a non-starter?
We have events with, one of the
Non-starter.
vets that is
Taking up the
third,
Pentagon.
yeah, they come down to the park, and I don't remember which Saturday or Sunday it is.
So we can look later. and
Yeah.
Make a
But
decision.
I think February 8th we're good.
Yeah. Okay. So for right now, we will, what we have decided is that we will use February 8th as one of the market days. We will advertise that, and then later, once we get a good idea of what the schedule looks like, we'll start doing it quarterly unless we find that it's so popular we need to condense it so that we maybe do it every other month or something like that.
Okay.
So when vendors ask and we kind of spread the word, so they don't pay for the table, and whatever money they make for their product, they can keep that, or do you take a
No,
share?
they can keep it.
They
That's the
can
way
keep it,
we've
no
been
problem.
working
So
it.
do we just make a form out that
And
they
the
would be
tables
getting?
is first come, first served is
First
what we
come,
had.
first
We
used.
only have, I think we have 5 or 6 tables is all, so
So
they
if you
should
also want to
bring their
bring your
own.
own,
Yeah,
Oh, you can
later
bring
on.
your own, okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
yeah. Okay, let's move.
And you have
Go
to
ahead.
clean
We
up
have to
after you.
have a
Go ahead, Roy.
resolution.
Connections like outlets, here or no?
There's power,
It's from the bathroom, so he
bathroom,
has to
so
run
have
it
to run
around.
a
I've had
wire.
all sorts of problems with the,
So we don't offer that. I don't think it's,
Still wanna put a
you know what I
water
mean?
fountain
Because
on.
there's,
We'll have to check and see. We need to get some electrical work done out there.
Yeah, because we don't want to overload if there's enough
Exactly,
people
and get
here.
something busted.
I don't know what that circuit would bear.
Right.
just because I
Charles
saw
would know.
that during that
15
rummage
amps.
sale, there's somebody complaining that there is no power for them to connect something they had.
Right,
Like somebody was trying to sell one of those power lamps.
but they wanted
They
to
wanted
check
to
it.
There's
test
no
it out.
power. And it's just, if it's possible, it's possible. If not, well,
Well, we ought to let that be known up
that's what I'm,
front, so that,
because I want to, like, if we are going to start setting things up, I want to put that out there. That way nobody complains or gets upset.
yeah.
There was also a problem with the building. I had music on like a little boom box where you just Bluetooth it, and the reception is just terrible. Is it made of metal, I guess?
I have no idea.
Yeah, the reception, yeah, you can't.
What building?
The
I
Wi-Fi
did
out
a
here
sound
might
thing
not
and
be
I
very good.
Bluetoothed it into a speaker,
Right.
and so I could just,
What building?
that canopy thing, the
Oh,
boat.
no, it's not.
That's
yours.
cloth,
Yeah,
so
it's
I
cloth.
think, I think
Yeah,
it's
the
just,
reception was
if there's
terrible. I mean,
reception
it's just
problems,
out
it's
here.
just the
Just
devices.
outside.
So let's move on.
I've made the reservation, by the way, for February 8th from
Oh.
9 to 3.
8th or 7th?
Eighth
Eighth,
is a
oh, that's right,
Saturday.
yeah, I'm looking at March right now. Okay, I was looking to set up, yeah, okay, yeah, it's 8th, okay. All right, discuss and possible action on status of painting playground equipment. I talked to the gentleman Friday, because he called me again, because I've already told him that we have awarded the job to People's Choice Painting, but we wanted to delay until the weather was more amenable to painting. And so he's going to call me back next month to see whether we want to proceed at that time or hold it off longer. But he's raring to go.
We had some beautiful weather that we
Yeah,
could've
I
done
know,
that.
but
you never know.
yeah.
You don't know.
But that's true of anything to do outside, we just have to look at
Point
dates.
to us.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's where that stands. It's scheduled tentatively for some time when the weather is better, and hopefully it'll really make the playground equipment stand out again. Okay, next agenda item, 8, discuss and possible action on the status of monarch butterfly application to have the designated area in the park declared a monarch site. And of course, this was Charles's,
Baby.
Okay, we actually have to build the garden before
Before
we
we
can
do
apply
it, so-
for the designation of Monarch Way
right,
Station.
okay, and they probably have to come down and look at it probably then, or,
No, you just certify it and send them a picture.
okay. And what about, and we can't,
Is there parameters for what it's required as far as plants?
Not really.
What about size? Size?
It has to exceed 100 square feet.
Okay.
that's,
That's not much.
11 by 11.
It's not a lot.
10 by 10 right there.
Yeah, we can cover that.
What about the application for the grant?
That's the next agenda.
That's the
item
next.
now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I try to stay in.
Because I think we need the money
Sequence
before
here.
we set it up, although Gloria said she has some manpower that we could utilize.
Exactly.
Yeah.
High school kids.
But we
And
gotta
girl,
get the
there'll be
plans.
some girl power in there too.
Yeah, well, I'm using it in the
I know.
generic sense. I don't want to be accused of being a sexist. I've been accused of a lot of things today. Okay, Charles, so we need to move ahead and develop the site before we can actually get the designation.
Correct.
So, I don't think there's any reason outside of not having the money and the to buy the plants and the manpower to do the work. I mean, I guess me, you, and John could start it out.
Yeah, the
We've done that
irrigation is-
before.
And, Mr. Thomasini wants to be involved.
Oh, good.
Oh,
So
he's
that's
very
four of us,
knowledgeable.
so,
In
yeah,
fact,
he's
he
good.
says he has some plants ready.
That's
to
right.
go.
oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh,
good.
that's right, we sure did.
And then the application, I have the application. It's quite detailed
I figured it would be if it's a grant, so,
and I'm working on it,
okay.
but I haven't got all the specific plants that we're gonna be putting out here together
Together.
to fill it out.
Okay.
So,
So we're still working on it, in other
Yeah.
words, but it's coming around.
Quick
so.
question for you on the plants. Have you identified a particular nursery that we would want to work with? And I ask that because Catherine needs to get set up for tax exempt for that. And I
okay,
didn't know if you had a preference on who you wanted. You don't have to answer that. I'm just
I-
saying, let Catherine know so she can get that set up.
okay. As much as possible, what I'd like to do is get the plants from the Native Plant Society of Texas Spring Sale event. Because these are people that grow and share Texas native plants, and that's one of the things that,
Is that meeting coming up, or is that?
yeah, it's in March, right after they award the grants.
Grants? Well, right after they award.
What's our
the
what's our
grant.
deadline on the grant application?
February 9th.
So you can put down the type of
That's
plants
good.
you want. We don't necessarily have to have them yet,
Right.
so.
Well, and remember the funding that the city's matching was gonna go towards the prep, the,
Yeah.
however, whatever you wanted to use there.
So I guess that's where we stand with the grant and the butterfly preserve. And so based on that, I will adjourn the meeting at 7:01. Thanks for everybody for coming. Thank you, Gloria, for your interest, and I'm hoping we really make things work great.
I think we will.